Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Miami Dolphins. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, we are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. It's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
It's an Indian summer afternoon. Perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here. Rush coming, and he's taken down. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Here's Gurley now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long. The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
Throwing on third and long. King, he'll throw underneath for Gurley. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be fourth down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's throwing them in the offensive backfield.
A look now at the Miami offense.
And the schedule makers have given them a little break right here. Back-to-back home games, and they won last week. So they're trying to make it 2 in a row before they hit the road next week. They have to take advantage of this break in the schedule.
He'll drop to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. They'll run on first down. It's Bowman, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Second and 11. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. A look now at the starters defensively for the Broncos. And they've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Whittington. And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the first down. 9 yards on the carry, but it's going to lead to a 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And this will be touched by a member of the kicking team inside the 20, and it's at the 17-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
A gain of 6 there on first.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 7 yards there and a first down. The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. 15 carries, 72 yards.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Look at the starters defensively for the Dolphins. They really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
The best defenses I know, they draw lines in the sand and say you're not going to cross that. For most of them, it's 100 yards of total offense. They didn't quite accomplish that, but still a pretty darn good game last week. Just over 100 yards of total offense given up.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. They run out of the shotgun with Gurley. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Off play action. King. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Back to throw. King. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Let's go.
And a nice little broken tackle run there by Todd Gurley, the 10th pick in the 2015 draft.
And that's what you get with him, that full package of speed, power, able to catch the ball out of the backfield. Many people doubted him coming out because of the knee injury in college. They're seeing the full Todd Gurley now, and it hurts.
Looking to throw. King. This will be caught inside the 10. And they've got it inside the 10 and back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out and a 5-yard penalty. And that'll set them back 5.
Come on now. Let's go.
That false start knocks them back behind the 10 now as they'll try again, first and goal. Back to throw. King. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And they're going to stop him here short of the goal line with the flag down. Well, this could set up a very interesting decision. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal. Still a ways from the end zone as they come up now on 2nd and goal. Here's Gurley. He will push his way down to about the 14. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Looking to throw. King. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Noah Fant, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, he might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now back to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. 2nd and long. Buying time, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 35-yard line. They'll set up to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Lamb. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll try and sneak it here. And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
Normally when you run that play on 2nd down, you don't expect to be pushed backwards. But the defense got a strong push up the middle, and he'll wind up losing ground and setting up 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Whittington. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, you remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things in.
They run. It's Gurley. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. quickly here, and that's complete. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Offense.
That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
To throw is King. To throw on second down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. It'll be a 3-yard gain. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
This is taken around the 12. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Eluding the pressure right. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. And some concerns caused him to slip to the 5th round. I guess if you're him, the good news is you kind of flew under the radar. Maybe expectations are low. You can come in and prove something.
And a lot to prove because those off-field concerns that creep in on you, you want to prove that they're all wrong, that they don't matter, that you are a much better player than what people picture.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
You have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
On 1st down, Whittington. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll try the left side. Whittington. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. The pitch back. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. 31 yards there and a 1st down.
Let's go.
This has been a good drive so far. It's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a 1st down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. So they need 2 yards here on third down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on third down conversions on this drive. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. From 3 yards out, and the Dolphins have taken the lead.
Touchdown.
There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Extra point forthcoming. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. A 10-play drive that time, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong. Only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity, that's our bread and butter, that's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you need to learn how to backpedal.
Hey, you turn into a heck of a DB, though, partner. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that. Game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll look to throw here. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option.
Sack, baby! Sack!
And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Todd Gurley and the offense, they get set and trot back out there now. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with a run so far. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Deshaun Watson, a touchdown pass in the victory. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Houston Texans. 28-13, the final score. And then lastly, on Monday Night Football, those fans will be riled up as it'll be a good matchup between their guys and the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Steps away to his left. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
2nd and 9 now. Gonna throw right side here, complete. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Lamb. And he's got this down to the 35. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. This quarterback now 14 out of 70, 82%, and it's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
5 yards gets them back near the original line of scrimmage as they'll be left with a 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
They'll come out in the pistol.
You can't block me.
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. It's their quarterback. His second touchdown of the night. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice two-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Extra point right down the middle, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Back to throw. King. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side, you know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game, but that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He'll try and run it. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to be taken down about a yard shy of the first at the 29. Give him an even gain of 10, but now it's 4th down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
The more and more that we broadcast games, the more I realize how much this game is about the eyes. And in this case, they got fooled because the defense was checking out the eyes of the back, thinking he was getting the ball. Should have been looking at the QB, shouldn't they?
A little bit of a surprise indeed, and he was able to get forward for that 1 yard. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Back to throw here. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Over the middle, complete. It's Lamb. And this is going to be another first down as they make the tackle at the Broncos' 28.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Joey Bosa.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
That's the end of the third quarter of play. With the score, Dolphins 20, Broncos 7.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Looking to throw. King. Going to flare this one out to Gurley in the flat. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
King now. Throwing on 3rd and long. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
He'll get 8 on the keeper there. It'll be second and a couple. 2nd and 2. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
Extra point up and through. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You better talk to your boys. You better talk to your boy. Have him protect you.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops. And the pressure gets to him again. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes, they saw that puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Call it a loss of 8 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Back to throw. King. He gets it to Gurley. Complete. Give him 2 yards on that play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Throwing on 3rd and long. King. And that one's complete to Gurley. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the 1st.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a 1st down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one may be his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin 1st down.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
occasionally you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the fourth.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now a handoff looking right. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
He was brought down at the 26. That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 1.
And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
And what a weapon to have when you can use your quarterback as a short yardage runner and pick up first downs.
First down past the 40 as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction, and when they try and change directions, it's a lot to pick them up and ward them off.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
On second down, Pruitt. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He can run for it, and he will. Give him 5 on the QB run, but it's going to bring up a fourth down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 33. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll try to run this one in. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So the Broncos now down by 15. At time, a huge factor. They need 2 touchdowns and at least 1 2-point conversion mixed in there as well.
You ready? 44, Mike, 44. It's a party now. It's a party. Let's go.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. 2nd and 5. This is the tight end fan. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. King on 1st and 10. Quick hitter here. It's complete.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
60 Pittsburgh.
2nd and 6. He's going to dump it off to Gurley. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Looking to throw. King. Wide open receiver complete. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for Miami, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for Denver, they'll fall to 1-2. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.